Hi, everybody. Cindy Bettino, your host for Sterling Women, and Cort Maddox with Silverline Coaching. And he is not only my business coach, but he is the business coach sponsor for Sterling Women. And so we count on him for a lot of tips. And so we're going to be doing a series of videos, short videos, to help you, everyone within Sterling Women, just have more business coaching advice if you don't already have a business coach, and hopefully it will convince you that you need a business coach. But anyway, so today we're talking about culture, right? And why culture is important within businesses, what culture is, like, what is this thing, culture? Cort.
Well, so culture is essentially every business, every individual has their own culture or their identity, and clearly defining it is really what we're talking about here, and making sure that it is something that you are operating by within your day-to-day life and your business. It's one of those things that, again, everybody has it. They just don't have it defined. It's not displayed, and they are making decisions by it anyhow, but defining it makes it that much easier. And one of the things that we find within the culture of businesses is that when we have a culture defined, it makes decisions within the business that much easier. Because if it fits your culture, it makes sense. If it doesn't, it's an easy decision to move on to something different.
And if you have employees, right? If you have employees and they know what the culture is, then it makes it easier for them to show up in a specific way because they know what the identity of the whole system is, and the business is, and it makes it easier for them to make decisions, right?
Correct. And if you think about it, again, just as I said before, everybody has their own culture or their defining aspects of their life. And so if you go into a business that it's not clearly defined, and each business or each employee has their own idea of what the culture is, you have a high likelihood to get a completely inconsistent experience each time you go there, because you're dealing with one employee or another.
Okay, so let's take Sterling Women as an example. Okay, so when I took over Sterling Women, you and I met, and we were talking about culture points, right? What are the culture points for Sterling Women? And I really wanted the culture points to be that it's a sisterhood. Therefore, we are there to lift each other up and be there for each other. We're not just there for ourselves, but we're there for other people that are there too. That we're going to have fun while we're doing serious business. So serious business, super important, but having fun at the same time because I love to have fun. Authenticity and inclusivity. So having us just show up as ourselves and not being afraid to show up as ourselves. And inclusivity is that we are a sisterhood that is a whole group. So if we use Sterling Women as an example, then of what we're talking about, how important is it that everyone, because I don't even think everyone knows, I've never talked about it. Everyone that comes to Sterling Women, how important is it that they understand that Sterling Women does have culture points, and what difference does it make within a networking event like Sterling Women?
So within Sterling Women, people will buy into the culture of Sterling Women, and it will connect with them on a personal level, knowing what your culture points are and that they want to be a part of that. Again, everybody has their own identity within their culture. And so when your culture points connect with something that they believe in, then they want to be a part of that. It connects to people. And therefore, you want to be within a group that makes sense and connects with who you really are.
Okay. So if we're talking to, since that's who we are talking to today, we're talking to everybody on the Sterling Women Facebook page and on our Facebook group, right? And even on LinkedIn, we're going to be talking to the people of Sterling Women. What recommendation do you make? How many culture points should they create? Are there too many? Are there too few? And let's just go there first. So
Sure.
How should they create their culture points?
The best thing to do is to create the points themselves, and you're going to have 6 to 10. You get over 10 and it complicates things, but 6 to 10 points of culture, and then define what each one of them means. Again, this is about creating consistent experiences and getting people to buy into it. And what my definition of a culture point might be completely different than what you may believe that it is. And therefore, having that explanation means that I understand going into it of exactly what that means.
Okay, so if you're listening to this, well, when you listen to this, right? No if, only when, right? That's a Cort Maddox, like pound my head thing that I'm still learning after all these years, right? So when you create your culture points, we create 6 to 10, and we're going to let everybody know what they are. Right. So we're going to have, if we have employees, we're going to have a meeting. Even if we have a VA, we're going to have a meeting. Right. And we're going to talk to them about the culture points and why they're important. And like, how often do we talk about the culture points with our staff?
Right. And so what you would want to do is have them posted publicly so that people are right there engaged with your culture. And that the employees are engaged with it. And even if you're covering it in, let's say that you had a handful of employees, even if you're covering it in a monthly meeting to where you're going over it. So a lot of my clients, we measure the culture on a monthly basis to be able to determine what the lowest point of culture is so that we can work on that particular element of culture each and every month. So if they decided, hey, point 2 is the lowest culture point this month, then in their meetings and their discussions, they're going to be talking about that culture point for that particular time period and working on it. And then you do another culture measurement, and that one should increase. Just everything we get focused on gets improved. So that one should increase, and it should be something else the next month.
Now you just gave me an idea for another video. I don't know how many. I've been making a lot of videos today. But anyway, okay, so culture and why culture is important and how to create culture within your business, and how it will help you make decisions and have clarity, and also with your staff, if you have staff. So thank you very much, Cort Maddox with Silverline Coaching. Thank you for joining us today and learning about culture. And we will talk to you soon. Cindy Bacino, your host for Sterling Women. See ya.
Thank you.